that were plundered and looted before being shipped out of the country during colonial times returned. Director of Antiquities and Sites at the National Museums of Kenya, Director Frederick Manthi, noted that if the artifacts are restored to Kenya, the number of tourists looking for them will gradually increase, raising enough revenue to build state-of-the-art facilities and train more curators and handlers.
The talk of Africa getting back her artifacts has gained momentum in the past years, with different lobby groups, art centers, museums and politicians in different countries pushing for their return. About 90% of Africa's top objects and artifacts are not on the continent. It is estimated that Belgium alone has more than 100,000 African pieces, while France comes second with close to 90,000 of African objects.
You have to know the archaeologist's name.
According to Director Dr. Frederick Manthi, some of the items were taken from families and kingdoms, saying there was need for Africa to push for return of these items collectively by speaking in a single voice.
Across the African continent, there has been a big push for countries across Africa to have artifacts that were looted, if you like, from those countries by the colonial masters and powers, brought back to Africa. So Kenya is also involved in those discussions in trying to have those artifacts and those collections brought back to Kenya and to Africa.
Speaking during celebrations to mark the 100th anniversary of Kariandusi Prehistoric Site Museum, Manthi said that Kenya's prehistoric sites are internationally recognized and that the country is considered the cradle of mankind.
Kenya has an extremely rich heritage, both natural and cultural, and even prehistoric heritage, and that heritage has placed the country on the world map in terms of human ancestry is concerned. We have sites scattered all over the country, in the Turkana Basin, Baringo Basin, Olokosele Basin, and even this part of the country here.
Kariandusi Prehistoric Site Museum has been a source of knowledge on early humans, but the number of visitors touring the site has been low, noted Dr. Elizabeth Wala, an archaeologist.
Most people find museums as places where children go to, so they don't see themselves as adults that they would want to come and visit. I want to encourage you that museums are more than just exhibitions. There's so much work that they're doing, so I'm encouraging you, wherever you go, I think there are over 140 museums and prehistoric sites around the country. Encouraging you to go and visit the one that's nearest to you.
Professor of Archaeology and Evolution at the University of Liverpool, John Gomat, said the prehistoric museum has since been his archaeological research area and reference point for historical investigations for over 50 years.
In Kenya, you're really lucky that you have these very early sites, and it's just wonderful that they can be investigated and that the country takes in its education a perspective, a deep perspective for everyone of what humanity is.
Na nimezunguka nikaona mandaki mahali wazazi wetu wakati walikuwa wanapambana na beberu, walikuwa wanajificha, na tumekuwa tunatembelea mashule na nimeona mahali tumekuwa tumebakisha, tutaendelea kuelezea watoto wetu.
Tumeishi tukitaka hata kujionea hizi kama hizi skulls. So leo ndo nimeziona.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.